Here's another round of meat-based bellends trying to disprove veganism. Good luck with that. Killing animals is not murder. Murder is defined as the illegal killing of a human. Animals aren't human and it's not illegal to kill them. I'm glad I could educate you. You don't mind if I humanely slaughter you then, my friend? Ha ha ha! Oh, what's that? You seem to be running away. Something wrong with your logic? Your face looks like it's in agony. Your reaction makes it look like your soul is in agony. Probably all the animal murders. The macerator argument again. They may be alive when they drop off the conveyor, but it's simply not a case for suffering. They are literally shredded in a split second. It's far too quick for any suffering. I know, you're made of meat. Why don't you swap places with the chicks, seeing as how they don't have a choice, and you do, and you think it's absolutely fine? You're very obviously either a psychopath or a sociopath, so society would be much better off without you, and you'd have proven your point by not being a hypocrite. Sound good? Oh, and if you're suffocated to death in a plastic bag like many of the chicks are, well, that's just hard luck, isn't it? I'll stick to corpses, animal secretions, fruits and veg. I'm having grass-fed beef tomorrow. You start off correctly identifying meat and dairy as dead bodies and gross that comes out of animals, but when you think about actually eating them, you revert to euphemisms. It's your mind trying to fool you into believing that you're not a bad person when in actuality, there is nothing more selfish than taking someone's very life for a fleeting taste sensation. Get the out of it. How are you going to eat animals without them being abused? In the same way lions do. You don't mind if I tear you limb from limb then? Why don't you say ancestral diets have been proven in randomized controlled trials to cause diseases our ancestors never had? Because factory farms are breeding grounds for antibiotic-resistant superbugs, we may soon die from infections again. If you're really lucky, like ancient man, you may die of infections before your rampant atherosclerosis gets you. Clever dick. I accidentally cut the top off this one, but I thought I'd stick it in because it's an interesting one. So I guess they were saying me using words like victim and murder shows you're trying to appeal to people's emotions. In nature, show me one mammal that restricts their diet for some ethical reason. It makes no sense, to be honest, and I'm not saying the way our society operates is optimal, but I don't think veganism is the answer. It may work for you, and it's okay to claim that your lifestyle is how all should live, is just closed-minded as those you criticise. Speak sense if you're trying to criticise me, mate.
That's my biggest thing, is veganisms are like religious people. It can benefit you, but can easily loose your way when you start pushing your ideas without taking into account the dynamics and nuances of life.
I'm surprised there's dumb. There's a word like nuance. Plants only save all animals. It's not the answer. The world's suffering cannot be eliminated by changing your diet. We're not trying to eliminate suffering, we're trying to minimise it, which very obviously is what veganism does. You twit! All that aside, I think the fact that you're more concerned with semantics than the taking of someone's very life for the sake of a sandwich, that speaks volumes about who you are as a person. For sake. Veganism is silly. Not being unnecessarily cruel and exploitative of others is silly? Excellent, you don't mind if I abuse and exploit you then? I could do with a new slave. When shall we start? You eat sand and stains for breakfast. You eat cadavers, ovulations that come out of a hen's vagina, and drink titty milk? That's very weird if you stop and think about it for a minute, but perhaps that's where you fall down. The ability to think. Listen to this bullshit, numbnuts. Sverige is right. I've been vegan for 8 years. You need meat for the animal fat. If we need animal fat in order to live, how come you're typing this after 8 years of not eating it? No, the only essential fatty acids are omega-3 and 6, which are abundant in plant foods. But hey, what do I know? I'm just the one with a nutrition diploma out of the two of us. You're a dump ass for feeding cats veg. You sound as though you really care for certain types of animals. Do you also pay others to kill animals that look slightly different, just so that you can eat their dead bodies? I have a very serious question for vegans. Ooh, how would you survive in the wild? You can't bring supplements with you, only tools. You'd have to know the environment like the back of your hand so you don't eat the wrong berries and other plants. I'm really curious about this because I don't know if this question has ever been answered. Please don't think I'm trying to insult anyone. I just want to hear a new perspective. I have an even more serious question for non-vegans. Why must you talk in hypotheticals all the time? You have an overwhelming abundance of every type of food on the planet available to you right now. So how do you justify the needless suffering of others? Are you a kind or an evil person?
What's with this crap dubstep? Also, thanks for the ear rape, you twat!
What's with the trying to hurt the feelings of someone you've never met before? Is it fair to say that you pay for others to kill animals on your behalf? The cognitive dissonance that on the one hand we're good people who would never harm animals unnecessarily, but at the same time pay for people to harm animals unnecessarily with our food choices 3 times a day, means that we turn into biological robots having predictable reactions to external stimuli. I'm sure that you're intelligent enough to break out of this if you really try. Most people don't though. Maybe life will open up and be much more exciting to you. Maybe it'll be the same old humdrum, predictable, reactionary. What a life. Hench, I have a condition that when I don't eat meat, I deteriorate and die. It's called being human. Meet me in the gym. I don't expect to hear from him. Oh, vegan food I've tried tastes like that's why I don't do it, no other reason. The worst offender? Nuts. Why? Just why? Why force feed yourself the bottom of a bird cage? You don't only eat the products of murder and exploitation. You eat tons of vegan foods, you absolute bellend. I'm not vegan and I don't support any sort of food restriction. I tried both vegan diet and carnivore diet and both of them are I'm a nutritionist. One particular type of vegan diet, the whole foods plant-based diet, is far from being. It prevents 14 of the 15 leading causes of death. It treats most and it reverses 5, including heart disease, our #1 killer. The only thing that's here is your attitude and the way that you pay for others to murder animals unnecessarily.
Hitler was a vegetarian!
Well, vegetarians fund the killing of chicks and calves, so what do you expect? In actuality though, Hitler was never vegetarian. This was made up by the Nazi Party's head of propaganda, Joseph Goebbels, simply for the fact that Gandhi, a vegetarian, was so popular at the time. As Hitler's chef points out in her book, Hitler's 2 favourite dishes were both meat-based. One of them was wood pigeon pie, if memory serves. My point is that every bloodthirsty son of a was a meat eater, just like you. You support animals like pigs and chickens being forced into a gas chamber and suffocating to death, burning from the inside out. In that way, you are just like Hitler. And now click this!